Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel today. It is Melinda, and I have another share for Anna's Craft Cupboard. And once again, using the absolutely gorgeous Midnight Collection by Coco Vanilla Studios. Here is the page I created, and I have used the die cut and backing file kit for this project. So I started with some gold splatters on that background paper. I'm sorry my camera's a little bit askew today, but that's what it is. But yeah, I just got my nozzle out of the bottle and sprinkled that all over the background. I put that aside to dry. I'm going to show you quickly here that I'm going to do, I am going to hand stitch this as you saw in that photo. I do not make you watch all of this. In hindsight, I should have put my holes a little bit closer together than what they are, but I'm happy with it. I'm going to use some navy blue crochet thread, but I'm going to come back on live in a second, so I'm going to stop my recording and come back after. Alright, so as you can see, I have done all my stitching on here. I don't know how well you can see, I've marked here, I did set out all of the bits that I wanted to use. I set them all out on here, and then I've marked where all the bits are going so that I don't stitch where I'm going to cover up, because that would really be silly. I took this away with me when we went on a drive that was a couple of hours either way, and I got totally confused with my first lot of lead pencil lines, so I came home, laid it all out again, put an arrow and finished it off. So this is all done now. I did end up changing from the needle I was using to a skinnier needle, which I found the stitches just worked better and they look a lot neater. If this looks black, it is actually really dark blue. I really liked how the blue worked with these beautiful soft pinks. So I'm just going to put this layout together, put a few finishing touches on it, and then I'm done. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I am back and I'm just going to build my page. First I'm going to snip off a few extra long threads, and I'm just using my Scotch quick drying tacky glue and applying that to the thread on the back of this cut file. I haven't had a problem with it sticking at all, it's stuck and I'm happy. I am putting more adhesive in the middle part there, but that's because I'm going to put some cardboard behind, because I know that's where my photo's going. So I'm just putting more glue on. I'm going to flip it over, find my arrow and stick my cut file down. Sorry for the headshot. I put the cardboard there because the stitching does make this a little bit more dimensional than if I'd stuck it straight on. So I'm going to put my background aside and let that glue dry. I'm going to back my photo with some tissue paper. This is a photo of my husband and I on our 10th wedding anniversary. We went away for a couple of nights, just him and I, down to Margaret River, and this was us heading out to dinner on our actual anniversary. I've given this layout the title Moments, as you can see here, because you don't get to 10 years marriage without lots of moments in between, and that's pretty much what my journaling is about as well, about how our life is all these little moments built up and added together to make 10 years. So I'm going to add a couple of small clusters. I didn't want to add too much here because I didn't want to cover up too much of that that cut file in the background. I'm using a couple of chipboard flowers there in the bottom right hand corner, and you'll see that that cluster does change a little bit, but I did play with all these pieces before I did the stitching so that I could get an idea of what I wanted to use. I've got up the top there a label, a little banner piece, blue banner piece with a pink love heart, and another chipboard flower up the top. Now, when I first saw this, what is this thing called? This item in my design team kit, I was like, ooh, I can hand stitch that and I can put enamel dots or something all the way around the edge. The enamel dots were a bit too small for what I wanted, but I found these Bella Boulevard pink puffy hearts in my stash. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't even used them. What you saw me doing a second ago, I was adding, and somehow when I before I started this page, I added to see how many hearts I need, and I was like, yes, I've got just the right amount. And then when I started putting them out, I didn't have the right amount. So all I've done is I've mixed up the small size and the medium size. There is absolutely no particular order with it. There's only a few of the lighter coloured hearts, so they're kind of randomly scattered. And I really like the finishing touch this gives. I hope that in time these little guys don't fall off. I haven't glued them down. I've just used the adhesive on the back of the hearts. But with that dimension, they very may well fall off, and I should have glued them down. We'll see what happens when they sit in my page protector. So I'm just going through now and sticking all my bits down. You will see that bottom cluster does change a little bit, but not dramatically. So I start by sticking everything to my photo so that I've got one big layer to move instead of lots of little bits and pieces. So here I'm like, oh, I don't like that weird gap. Oh, what can I do? So I pulled out the ephemera, pulled in another leaf. Straight away I didn't like it, but I was like, I'll give it a go. Nah, don't like it. What can I do? What can I do? So you'll see me, oh, straight away I pulled in another flower, which was exactly what it needed. It fills that gap nicely, and I really like how it looks. Just using some glue, like I said, attaching all of that so it's one piece. I'm going to make sure everything's stuck properly on the back here, and then I'm going to use some pop dots in a couple of areas. So like that chipboard flare on the top left hand side where it is chipboard on top of the photo, which is on top of the cardboard, I'm going to add some pop dots, and there's a couple of other places where I need to add some pop dots just so it sits relatively flat. Using my tacky glue again, just because I've got the stitching and all that extra dimension there. I don't want anything to move. So I'm just making, so that moment I had to end up doing 2 layers of foam behind the M. Just trying these pieces again because they were on my desk and I thought, why not? Don't love it. And I'm pretty sure that's how I leave it. I do some journaling. I put the date on the top on that label, and then I'm going to journal all the way around the edge here. I decided I didn't quite finish what I wanted to say, so in that space where I just wrote, I wrote from 2 to 4. Some still close-ups on the camera. They're not still, some video close-ups. And then into my still shots. So I really love this cut file. I was a bit hesitant to use it to start with because it is a cut file on a piece of paper and it's all done for you. So I'm really pleased with how I made it more mine. Make sure you head over to the store to grab yourself this if it is still in stock. I'm pretty sure it is at the moment, so make sure you do. It's lots of fun, and you know, you don't even have to add anything to it if you don't want to. As always, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I will be back again tomorrow with another share. I hope you're enjoying this week of lots of shares, and have a fantastic scrappy day. Bye.